So I normally don't think about what happens after death. I mostly think it's nothing but a black void of nothingness, which at least sounds more appealing than the heaven-hell afterlife model I was raised to believe in. Eternal bliss in heaven would get real boring real quick, and the concept of eternal torture in hell doesn't work when you realize you'll eventually just become numb to whatever torture old man Lucy can come up with. However, an afterlife scenario I can really get behind is the concept of reincarnation, since you essentially get to continue experiencing life, and the end of one meat reality isn't the end of all meat reality for you. And since I'm not in a depressive episode, getting to live more sounds pretty nice. I used to think I'd rather be reincarnated as a human until I read All Tomorrows, a speculative sci-fi written by C.M. Coastman under the name Nemo Ramjet, which imagines a future where humanity is twisted into all sorts of abominations by some godlike, fantastical aliens who think it's their duty to reshape the universe however they like. I came away from this book with some serious existential dread, though. The book spans over 1 billion years, stretches of time so vast my mortal brain can't even fathom them. I've only got a good 60 or so years left to, exist. That pitiful amount of time is just an insignificant blip in the vast cosmos. So yeah, reincarnation. Sounding pretty sweet right about now. For the sake of this video, let's assume your soul can reincarnate anywhere life exists in the universe. Which of the 40-something crimes against humanity illustrated in All Tomorrows would I be most happy reincarnating as? Alright, I'm gonna start with the little wormy boys here, because there isn't really much to go off on. I don't want to be a worm, so they're in D tier. The next one is basically the little dolphin boys. They're dolphins that can use tools and stuff, but it's all genetically engineered. That sounds pretty cool. So they're gonna get an A. They have these little crabbies that go on in their blow in their blowholes, and not in a bad way. It helps filter the oxygen. All right, next I'll pick the Titans. They're essentially just elephants. Elephants are cool. I'll put them here in C tier. I wouldn't mind being one of them. It's just, I don't know. I'm not the best life being an elephant, especially the lower lip became a trunk, and that sounds really uncomfortable. The walkers, they just take care of the other mutated people on the other planets. Maybe I'll put them in... Nah. It just seems like they're subservient to asteroomorphs. I can't see myself enjoying that life. Okay, this one's really interesting because the females, they are the queens, and they control all the simpy boys. It's like a reverse harem where all these boys just do everything for them. Unfortunately, though, in this reincarnation scenario, I would think there's a 50-50 chance I would be reincarnated as one of the males. And any reality where my soul has to get put in a male body again would really suck. But this would bottom suck. I would not want to be one of these little rodent simps. I'd want to guarantee I'd be a queen. So we'll put you in C. Then there's the symbiotes. If you get reincarnated as them, you can basically exchange bodies at will, and that's kind of cool. Well, okay, actually no. Their society is pretty much based on slavery, and that's really messed up. I'll put them in D tier. All right, next is the first evolution of the sea people. They're basically like whales and dolphins. So, they're intelligent, but they don't really have culture or language. Yeah, I'll put that in, I don't know. The subject, I do not want to be under gravital rules, so they go in D tier. These are tall, and that's kind of it. I mean, this is just giraffe. I don't want to be giraffe. That's a D tier. Also, every time they trip or get hit with a gust of wind, their bones break. I can't vibe with that. Okay, next is the star people. So they basically have a galactal utopia, and that's really cool. I feel like this deserves S tier, but at the same time, I'm looking at them and their proportions are so weird. They look really bad, generic gray alien boys. And I mean, I don't want to look like that. It's so weird too, because they're about 5 heads tall, and they're not even cute. The problem is they created a hybrid of the Earthlings and the Martians, and then we're okay, this is gonna be the perfect species. This is their imagined perfect human. who in their right mind would be like, I'm gonna engineer the perfect human and not just turn everyone into like real life anime characters? And then another thing is, I don't know if this one is just bald because he likes to be bald, but then if you look at this other picture, it looks like they're all bald. So it's like, did they like genetically remove hair of all kinds? Like, yeah, get rid of body hair, but not hair on my head. So I don't know. Okay, you know what? This feels wrong. I'll put them in a cautionary S tier. Okay, next up is the ones who live in hollowed out asteroids. They propel themselves in space by farting. That's like really gross. At least they have human intelligence and everything. So I'll put this in C tier, but I don't like the idea of having to use my ass to move around. Next up is the snake people, and you know, they got it going on. I can see myself being happy as a snake person. Again, they don't have hair, but that's not a requirement if you're a snake, because I mean, a snake with hair, that would look weird. And you know, I think they're beautiful in their own right. It kind of sucks they only have one hand, so that makes things a little bit more difficult, but I'll put them in A tier. Next up is the space cowboys. I mean, so I meant the lizard people. The lizard cowboys is what they are. Ride 'em cowboy. They're riding the. You know, I'm not a scaly or anything, but you know, they got it kind of sweet. I wouldn't really mind being a lizard so much. So then there's the sailors, and like, what the. No, I don't want to be that. No, you go in D tier. Okay, this one here, the scavengers of the ruins of the star people, they got some big ass honkers. Like, they look like a boomer cartoon. I am really insecure about the size of my nose. I know it's an irrational insecurity because my nose really isn't that big, but I would not be happy being reincarnated as this. And I know what you're thinking. If I'm reborn as a species that looks like this, it'll just be normal. But I don't know, those credits might transfer or something. What if my baseless nose insecurity is a stain on my soul from a previous life where I had a horrific nose deformity? Yeah, think about it. Then there's the Q. I don't want to be the Q. So, being able to traverse the stars and remake the universe in your image sounds tempting. But this species, their belief system, their dogma, like, they're just messed up. I would not want to be a galactic genocidal force. That's just, no. Okay, so I may have wanted to be a pterodactyl when I was like 6, but not really anymore. So yeah, I'm also putting them in D tier because they live really short lives. They live to be like 25 at most, which means I would have already been dead if I was one of them. Prey, I mean, they just eat grass and get hunted to death. That's not a fun life. The predators, yeah, I'm not vibing with them, so they can go in D tier too. I would not want to be reincarnated as one of these. Neither the parasites, that's just gross. The new machines, they're basically made to be subservient to the astromorphs, so that kind of makes it a bit of a raw deal, but I mean, look at how cool that is. I'll put it in C tier just for the cool factor. The modular people. The entire species is kind of as one, and they can all like share their experiences and stuff. It's not visually appealing to me, but that's kind of a beautiful experience where everyone in this world is like connected beautifully in some way. Martian. I really don't like the facial proportions. I'm already insecure about my looks as it is, and that's not going to help me, but the Martians become kind of a backwater area. It's not an ideal life living on Mars in this universe, but it's not like the worst thing ever. I'll put them in B tier. Next is the mantelope, and okay, why is the scrotum here like hanging so low? Is that what real antelopes look like? Okay, hold on, let me look this up. Antelope. All right, male antelope. Let's see. Like, is this accurate? Like, why is it hanging so damn low? Like, what? Yeah, like it's not hanging down. Like, That's not a good evolutionary advantage, because it's like, I know the little swimmies in there need to be at a certain temperature, so they have to be, you know, separate from the body most of the time. But that is like really like, dude, you could, that sounds okay, you know what? I'm not gonna go into too much detail. Let's just say it. I mean, they also live a sad existence where they have fully human minds, but the bodies with which not to do anything about it. So yeah, that sucks. These also, apparently the little flounder people, they end up like developing tools and culture and stuff. But geez, like I don't want to be a pancake. Okay, the lizard herders are basically just really early hominids, so not really ideal living like that. The killer folk, I gotta say, I'm not a furry, but this guy kind of hot. Like, if this is what the dating pool looks like on this world, that gives him some leverage. Only issue, though, is the shape of the hand. That's gotta not be comfortable to masturbate with. And, you know, this species are very clearly obligate carnivores, which severely limits the kind of food you can eat, you know? I mean, I don't think they have chocolate on their world. That kind of knocks them down a bit. Also, like, they've been a historically violent, war-hungry species, which also isn't really fun. I don't know. I think there are enough cons to put them... Actually, no. I'll keep it in B tier because, you know, despite the negatives, they still have a pretty good, prospering society. Next is the Insecto Boys. Okay, you know, extra points for having the tongue. If I could have a tongue like that, my girlfriend would be really happy. Next is the hedonists, and their life is nothing but pure pleasure, and they don't have the brains to get bored of it because they're just dum-dums. If I could be a cat in the next life, that's not a bad life. My cat, she just doesn't do anything all day, and she gets free food and gets to live here for nothing, and she literally is just hiding behind the TV right now. Like, there's no problems in the world, like nothing. There's nothing to worry about if you're a cat. Next is the gravitoids. I'll call them that. That's like, they're basically just the Q, but like a machine, so no. This guy, what the frick is going on with the scrotum again? Look, you can see exactly where like the testes are, but then like there's this huge sack of like skin with, what is that, holes? The heck? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go D tier. Again, flying pterosaur people, not a big fan. Okay, this one. This reminds me of that stupid horse head mask joke that like was popular if you like maybe a decade ago. I don't remember how long ago, but like it was a stupid joke that was never funny, but like it's just a bunch of people who are like that, and then they have a really long middle finger, which, you know, pretty useful if you're driving on the highway and like someone is riding your ass, like really right in that ass. And excuse me, there is someone in front of me. I can't go any faster. There's a thing called traffic that exists. So here's my middle fingy. And they can't see it because I have small hands. But if I was one of these, like, you know, I'm joking, by the way. I've never flipped off someone just because I like to be nice and polite when I'm on the road. Anyway, I would put them in a C tier. Yeah, these ones are definitely a D tier. That's just a torturous existence. The bug faces are just freaky. We're not gonna want to be them. Then there's the bone crushers. No. They seriously go shitting and farting on each other as a display of affection. At least now we know where this copy pasta came from. And then there's the mousy-chans. I really like visual things. I'm an artist and stuff, so that kind of makes my quality of life kind of shit. So, no. Author. I mean, whatever the deal is with the author's, like, species, they've got to have it going on. Because they're able to, like, look at the remains of this galactic empire of multiple species and be like, yeah, they're all dead, but we're here. There isn't much to go on, so I can't, like, either way. I'll put them in the A. Then there's the asymmetrical people. That's actually kind of rad. My goth ass is like, I want to be an eldritch abomination. Maybe just for one lifetime. I can't imagine these things even live that long anyway, so yeah, I guess C tier, that's okay. Next up, more farty boys. Oh boy. Yeah, you already know how I feel about that. So no, we're not gonna. Yeah, no, that is unappealing. I don't know how these snakes evolved like this. They at least have civilization, and I mean, I was pretty nice to the snake people and being like, yeah, I'll put them in B tier. They had their stuff together, you know? Finally, we have the Satyriacs. They just party and have orgies like all day, so that's an S tier. And here's my actual final ranking. I switched around the Asteromorphs because in hindsight I realized it wasn't fair to have them in a lower tier than the Spacers. Like I said, this video was mostly improvised. If you enjoyed this video, I'll be posting video essays about cartoons, anime, and whatever else I feel like on this channel. So if you're interested in seeing more from me, be sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I also drew and lip-synced my own avatar, so if you want to see more of my art, you can follow me on any of these communities. Links are in the description. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!